When your dog refuses to sleep without you, do you actually know what that means? You probably think it is warmth, or habit, or just something dogs do. But behind that nightly ritual, there is something far deeper than most owners ever stop to consider. Something rooted in ancient biology, in neurochemistry, in a bond that science has only recently begun to fully map. And if you have been misreading it, which most people quietly are, you have been missing signals your dog has been sending you every single night. There is one thing in particular I want you to stay for, because if your dog used to sleep beside you and suddenly stopped, most owners assume it means nothing. But the real reason is something you genuinely need to hear. Let us talk about what is actually happening. 1. It was never just about warmth. The easy explanation goes like this. Your dog gets cold. Your bed is soft. Problem solved. But that explanation collapses the moment you think it through. Right now, picture your living room in the afternoon. A patch of sunlight cutting across the floor. A sofa cushion that holds heat for hours. A corner beside the radiator that stays warm all night. Your dog knows every one of those spots. They have mapped this house more thoroughly than you have. If warmth was all they were after, they have options, plenty of them. So why do they keep walking past all of those places and choosing you? Sleep is the moment of greatest vulnerability for any animal. Every survival instinct a dog carries, even the most comfortable, well-fed dog, who has never spent a night outdoors, says that sleep is when danger can find you. And yet, your dog walks past every safe, quiet corner of your home and climbs into bed beside a human. That is not about temperature. That is a decision. Research into canine attachment behavior has consistently shown that dogs form deep emotional bonds with their owners that directly shape where and how they feel safe enough to rest. When your dog chooses to sleep beside you, they are communicating something they have no other language to express. You are the safest place I know. 2. They are syncing themselves to your heartbeat. Imagine this. You are sitting at your desk at the end of a long workday, tension still in your shoulders, your mind still running. Your dog presses against your leg, and slowly, without you doing anything, something in you starts to settle. That is not coincidence. Studies measuring physiological responses in dogs during close contact with their owners found that cortisol levels, the body's primary stress hormone, dropped significantly when dogs were in physical contact with the person they were bonded to. But here is the part most people never consider. The same thing happens to you. Petting and close contact with a bonded dog lowers cortisol in humans as well. Heart rate slows. Blood pressure drops. The nervous system quiets. You are not just letting your dog sleep beside you. You are both, without realizing it, regulating each other. Night after night, your breathing patterns synchronize. Your dog's body learns the rhythm of yours. And when something is off, when you are restless or anxious or quietly unwell, they feel it before you have even registered it yourself. That is not a pet seeking comfort. That is a bond operating at a biological level. Subscribe to this channel, Healed by My Dog, and click the bell so you know when we drop more paw news you can use. Every video here is built around what the science actually says, not what we assume. 3. They have assigned themselves a job. Now, picture your bedroom at night. Your dog circles once, twice, then settles. But notice exactly where they land. Near your feet, pressed against your back, beside your head, facing the door. That placement is not random. It is deliberate. Dogs descend from pack animals, and in a pack, Rest was never completely unguarded. Members positioned themselves around the group during sleep, watching entry points, staying alert to anything that moved in the dark. Your dog still carries that wiring. A dog sleeping near the door is monitoring the entry point. A dog pressed against your back is covering your blind side. A dog settled at your feet is positioning themselves where they can respond fastest. They know this is a house, not the wilderness. But instinct does not care about that distinction. Something deep in their DNA says, "This human is part of my group, and I keep my group safe while they sleep." Every single night, without being asked, they show up for that role. 4. Every sleep position is telling you something specific. Think about the last time your children sat quietly on the floor watching your dog sleep. The curl, the sprawl, that pressed-in position. Each one carries a meaning, and once you know what to look for, you will never see your dog sleeping the same way again. The curl. When your dog sleeps curled tight, nose tucked toward their tail, they are in their most protective position. It shields the abdomen, the most vulnerable part of any animal's body. If your dog curls beside you but keeps themselves contained, trust is there. It is just not fully open yet. The sprawl. Legs stretched, belly exposed, body completely loose. This is the deepest form of trust a dog can show. Every survival instinct tells a dog to protect their belly. A dog who sprawls beside you has switched every one of those instincts off. That is not relaxation. That is total emotional safety. The back to you position. Some owners feel a flicker of rejection when their dog turns away to sleep. Do not. In pack behavior, turning your back to someone is one of the highest signals of trust that exists. It means you do not need to watch them. Your dog turning away is a compliment. Most people accidentally act as an insult. And then there is the pressed-in position. When your dog wedges themselves as close as physically possible, sometimes in positions that look genuinely uncomfortable, that is the clearest message of all. They want no distance between you whatsoever. Not clingy, not needy, devoted. 5. They rewrote their internal clock for you. Step outside with your dog on an early morning and watch them. Alert at dawn. Tuned to something old and instinctive. Dogs are naturally most active around dawn and dusk. That is what thousands of years of evolution built them for. A dog's natural rhythm has no reason to align with a human schedule. And yet it does. Bonded dogs gradually shift their activity patterns to mirror their owner's routine. They sleep more when you sleep. They stir when you stir. They anticipate your alarm, your morning routine, your wind-down habits with an accuracy that consistently catches new owners off guard. This is not training. It is attention sustained over months and years until your rhythm became theirs. An internal clock shaped by thousands of years of evolution, quietly bending itself around you. Not because they have to, because they want to be where you are when you are there. 6. They feel your stress before you know you are feeling it. Have you ever had a hard day, said nothing to anyone, walked through your front door, and found your dog already beside you before you have even sat down? That is your dog reading signals you did not know you were sending. Research has demonstrated that dogs can detect changes in human cortisol levels through scent alone. Your body chemistry shifts when you are stressed, and your dog's nose, between 10,000 and 100,000 times more sensitive than yours, picks up on it immediately. Beyond scent, your posture changes. Your breathing changes. The micro expressions in your face change. Your dog is reading all of it simultaneously. And here is where the sleeping connection matters. Night after night, sleeping beside you, your dog builds a detailed map of what your baseline feels like. Your resting heart rate, your breathing rhythm, the way your body settles when you are genuinely at peace. So when something shifts, even subtly, they know. This is why dogs become extra attentive when their owner is unwell or going through something difficult. They are not guessing. They are responding to real, measurable changes in the person they have been studying with devotion every single night. 7. The science of the human-canine bond goes deeper than most owners realize. In 2015, a study published in the journal Science found that when dogs and their owners simply gazed into each other's eyes, both showed a significant rise in oxytocin, the same bonding hormone that surges between a mother and her newborn in the first moments after birth. Your dog looks at you, and their brain releases the same chemistry humans use to bond with their babies. And when you look back, yours does too. This is not sentiment. This is a documented biological feedback loop. And sleeping together, that nightly closeness, hours of shared breathing, and physical contact amplifies that loop. The oxytocin response is not a one-time event. It builds. It deepens over months and years of exactly this kind of proximity. The dog sleeping beside you tonight is not just comfortable. They are neurochemically bonded to you in ways most owners have no idea are happening. 8. Children change the dynamic in a way that reveals something profound. Watch a dog in a home with young children at bedtime. They often move between rooms, checking each child, sometimes settling beside the smallest one, sometimes planting themselves outside a doorway. What looks like restlessness is actually something else entirely. Dogs in family environments extend their attachment behavior across the entire group. Studies on canine social cognition have found that dogs track the emotional states of multiple individuals in a household simultaneously. When a child is unsettled, a bonded dog will frequently shift position to be closer to that child. When the home is calm, they return to their primary attachment figure, which is usually, though not always, the person whose scent and rhythm they know most deeply. Your dog is not choosing favorites arbitrarily. They are managing the emotional safety of your entire household. That is the pack instinct, operating in the most modern setting imaginable. 9. Smell is the language they use when you are not looking. You walk out to the backyard in the evening. Your dog follows, nose working the air. That same nose, the one tracking 40 distinct chemical compounds in your sweat right now, is the same tool they use to orient themselves to you during sleep. Research from Emory University found that among all the scents presented to dogs in a controlled setting, only one triggered consistent activation in the reward center of the brain. Not food, not another dog, their owner's scent. Your scent. When your dog presses their face against your pillow, when they circle and settle against your side, they are surrounding themselves with the one thing their reward system is most powerfully calibrated to find. That is not a habit. That is biology confirming you are exactly where they want to be. 10. When they suddenly stop, pay attention. A dog who has slept beside you for months or years does not stop without a reason, and that reason is almost always worth understanding. The most important possibility first. If your dog suddenly seeks solitude during sleep, particularly if they are older, consider their physical health. Dogs instinctively withdraw when they are in pain or feeling unwell. It is an ancient survival mechanism. Hide the vulnerability. Do not show weakness. A dog, pulling away from their usual sleeping spot, may be telling you something their body has no other way to communicate. A conversation with your vet is always worth having. Beyond health, look at what has changed in the environment. A new person in the home, a new pet, a shift in routine that feels minor to you and significant to them. Dogs are sensitive to territorial and social changes in ways that ripple through their behavior, in patterns we do not always connect immediately. And sometimes it is emotional. If something startled your dog in the bedroom, if a conflict occurred in that space, if they associated that environment with something that unsettled them, they may create distance to protect themselves. The key is simply this: pay attention. Your dog chose to sleep beside you because you were the safest place they knew. If that changes, they are not being difficult. They are communicating. So watch, listen, and if they need help finding their way back to feeling safe, do that work with them. Every position, every pressed-in moment, every slow breath synced to yours in the dark, all of it was a choice, and that choice was always you.